Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you for tuning in for the second episode. So guys, how's lockdown been treating you? Because for me, I'm kind of going a bit mental here. Realizing that, sure, what is the story, but I don't know. I'm noticing a lot of things about my community and I don't know if it's the same for you. Well, first of all, I have the situation where I'm going to bed at night and I hear a rooster calling, or whatever sound, whatever bloody sound a rooster makes. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a rooster going for it, and I'm wondering, why does somebody have a need for a rooster? Unless they got a rooster and a chicken, and the rooster is making the chicken make the eggs, whatever, and they're selling the eggs, then maybe I understand. But I mean, this is not a farm, but it is what it is. Other than that, still trying to keep healthy, still trying to keep strong, and doing a bit of exercises on my patio. And the other day, I was doing some lunges, doing some reaches as well, and like every person, like people are walking, mates. People are walking. They're not giving a damn. I was gonna say another one, but I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, people are walking. They're not giving 2 cents about coronavirus, nothing. So I'm busy doing my thing on my patio, keeping safe. I haven't really left my house for lockdown, so I'm going for it. People are waving at me because they think I'm waving at them. I mean, it's awkward, but anyway, you gotta do what you gotta do. What are you guys doing to stay fit? Let me know. I'm keen to hear what you guys are up to, what books you're reading, what movies you're watching, what series you're watching. Please let me know. So it can be tough on some guys, I understand that. Keeping motivation to keep fit and strong, especially if you're an athlete. I understand you're going through some tough times right now. And what are you doing if you got a Virgin Active contract and you're used to that? I know Virgin Active carries on like Richard Branson. He was the treadmills himself, but hey, let me know how's it going for you guys. So today, this episode is gonna be on the 14 shows I'm watching on Netflix right now. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. So first on my list is called Restaurants on the Edge. This is about a team of 3 that are interior, food, and marketing experts, respectively. So they travel around the world and help restaurants on the edge. On the edge has 2 meanings here. So it's on the edge of financial bankruptcy or financial closure, whatever the technical term is for that. So they go and assist restaurateurs with their failing or fledgling businesses. But the other meaning of on the edge is that these restaurants are on some picturesque, breathtaking views, literally on the edge, whether it's a mountain cliff, whether it's on the beach front. These are some spectacular restaurants. What I like about this show is that it helps people within the restaurant industry to understand their local culture within their communities, and it helps them understand their local economy. So in one of the episodes I watched, this guy, his name is Haba, and he's a goalkeeper in Malta. So his idea was to get all these different exotic seafood and shellfish from across the world, when Malta, it's a coastal country, has some of the best seafood on the European continent. So what does it teach us? You need to understand what you have at your exposure, knowing your resources, what you have available. Instead of going so far to get resources and products in for your community that you are going to sell your products or service to, sell directly with what you have on your doorstep. So the second show I have here is The Last Dance. We are not all basketball fans, but that doesn't matter here. You ask anybody who Michael Jordan is, they can tell you. They don't even have to have seen a picture of him, seen what he does. They know who he is because of his name, because of his brand, because of his shoes. Michael Jordan is an absolute household name. He's known absolutely everywhere around the world. So basically this is a sports documentary miniseries, and it focuses on the Chicago Bulls' rise within the 1990s, but pays particularly close attention to the 97-98 season. I particularly like the show because I found out a lot about the Chicago Bulls. I'm not a basketball fan, but they had an era of absolute dominance. The Chicago Bulls were an absolute religion to some of the people within Chicago. Chicago is known for its toughness. So when they got to see a team like the Chicago Bulls going at it, winning titles, battling it out on the courts, getting hurt, getting bruised, for the fans, they absolutely loved that. They went crazy for that. Another reason why I'm giving you my recommendation to watch the show is because it doesn't only pay close attention to Michael Jordan, it also focuses on the coach, Phil Jackson. It focuses on the GM, Jerry Cruz. It focuses on the trio of Pippen, Michael Jordan, and Dennis Rodman. And it's interesting to find out who Dennis Rodman really was and who he was in that point in time, because if you look at Dennis Rodman's lifestyle back then, I mean, we've got so many people within our age group and within our demographic that are trying to understand who they are. And Dennis absolutely lived his life without any limitations, without any chains. He was who he was meant to be. Dennis Rodman lived like he was free, and I think we can all live by his example of being who we truly are. So another show on my list is Amazing Interiors. This is also a reality TV series that focuses on interior design, but this show focuses on unique and unusual interiors. So the homes could seem quite ordinary on the outside and quite bland, but you would find deep within inside these homes that there are some unusual, crazy, wild interiors. The first episode I watched, there was a Chicago Cubs fan who in his basement basically planned his whole basement to be a man cave, but it goes deeper than that. He planned it around the Chicago Cubs stadium, their baseball stadium. He uses it for charity events, and he uses it to connect with his friends and his buddies, to have a drink, to socialize. And it's quite amazing to find what you can do within your homes. Maybe you are a Manchester United fan, maybe you are a Liverpool fan. If you want to have your shrine to your club and you want to figure out how to go about it, I definitely recommend you should watch that show. So guys, another show I'm going to recommend to you is Jovicho. So this show is based on the Pansula dance. It's played by the lead, who is Warren Masinola, and we know him as a living legend on the South African screens. And you should definitely watch this show, because in this, I can definitely tell you, local is 100% lekker. So watch this show. It's got an amazing cast and you will definitely be entertained. So who knows, maybe after lockdown, you'll be showing us some of your Pansula moves. So I'm definitely excited to see that. So guys, the next show I'm going to recommend to you is Stay Here. So this is another home improvement show that I think you would greatly appreciate and enjoy. It follows a interior designer and real estate broker, and they help homeowners transform their short stay rentals into some serious money making machines. So I suggest you watch the show, pick up a few tips, a few tricks, know how to shop and how to style your place if you want to get into the Airbnb market. So the next show I'm going to drop to you on my list is Dropping Cash. Have you ever wanted to see how some of your actors, rappers, sports stars splurge their hard-earned cash? Well, I suggest you watch Dropping Cash. In this show, you will see how some of these very famous names drop some serious cash. This show is set in LA. You will see them splurge on sports cars, fashion, clothing, jewelry, just to name a few items. On this show, you will catch the likes of Bow Wow, Soulja Boy, and Eric Amina. I definitely recommend you watch the show if you've got any ideas of how to chop your money after lockdown. So guys, knowledge is definitely power. So the next show I'm giving you is how to live mortgage free. So if you think about it, we are in another recession, and that is definitely going to cause another housing crisis. So I recommend you watch the show if you need to think of how are you going to invest in property. So you will know that with mortgages, some people end up taking a lifetime to pay that mortgage off, or some people end up paying double. Watch the show if you want to learn how to get rid of a mortgage quickly, or how to live without one completely. Watch the show if you want to get into property investments, and watch the show if you do not want to rob Peter to pay Paul. In the show, there are definitely some interesting housing alternatives, from living on a boat to living in a church to living on brownfields. The next show I'm giving you is Flinch, and you must be wondering, what on earth is Flinch? Well, have you ever played the game Flinch in high school? Well, maybe that's just boys' schools. You know, Flinch, and if you move, you're gonna get hit. Well, this show focuses on a similar concept. It puts contestants in some really tricky situations, and if you flinch, you are definitely going to feel some pain. So I'll recommend you watch this show for some ideas to brainstorm a TV show. Who knows, maybe your idea might just land you on Netflix or some other streaming service. Give it a watch. The next show I'm going to recommend for you to watch is Interior Design Masters. I want to take it back to my passions, guys. So why do I recommend this show? This show is definitely interesting because you will learn some different techniques with interior design. You will also learn how to pay attention to a brief given to you. You'll also learn how to be flexible, work with teammates. And I also recommend that you watch the show for the cattiness and the competitiveness. That is really the art of reality TV. Putting people against each other that don't really like each other. So I definitely recommend you giving this a watch. This show will see the winner win a lucrative contract to style a London hotel. If you are in interior design, I recommend watching this show. Maybe you will identify yourself in one of the contestants and realize where your weak points are and where you can strengthen. You definitely get invested with each competitor in the show. Next on my list, this is for the football fans out there. This show is called Sunderland Till I Die. Maybe you're just like me and craving anything football related, because I'm reading articles online, I'm watching videos on YouTube, I'm watching all the relive moments on Super Sports, and I want a new perspective relating to football. So this show follows Sunderland's relegation from the EFL Championship from the 2017 and 2018 season. The show was released on Netflix in 2018. It's still good to watch because it will give you a perspective from the managers and the players from a behind the scenes perspective. I definitely recommend you watch the show because if you're like me and you're really interested in football, you'd want to know what it's like for football players on and off the pitch, and what is it like dealing with the tremendous stress of a relegation battle. You're definitely gonna love this one. This one's called The World's Most Extraordinary Homes. So this is a mini-series and it follows an award-winning architect named Piers and a property developer named Carolyn Quinton. This show is definitely interesting to watch because they go and explore some of the world's most unique and beautiful homes in some extreme locations. This series gives a great experience into the world of design and shows different techniques and the use of different materials within building. What I like most about these homes is that each house has a wonderful and natural balance with the environment. The next show on my list is called Insta Famous, and that's Insta with the @ symbol for A in Insta. Instafamous explores the world of social media celebrities, how they built their empires, and what they plan to do next. Here you'll get a great look into their strategies of how they built their online presence. Back to my field and back to my passions. Tiny House Nation is the next show I have for you. What is wonderful about this show is that it makes you ask questions. How much house is too much house? How much house is enough house? Also, with being a town planner, we have the densification agenda, where we have to ensure that cities and settlements are densified in a sustainable way. So for planners, designers, and architects, it makes us question, what is an optimal sized house? How much house is needed for basic human needs? If you want to find out more about what's in the show and how you can design efficient buildings, I suggest you watch the show. So I've saved the best for last, Instant Hotel. I absolutely love the show because I binged it within 3 days, and that's 2 seasons. I went absolutely mental on it. So I made the mistake of watching season 2 before season 1, and that is a fault of my own. I put my hands up for that one. Season 2 was funnier and simplified, and saw the inclusion of Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen as a judge alongside Juliet Ashworth. Both are world-renowned designers when it comes to the industry of interior design, and their expertise are sought all over in terms of commercial and retail spaces, as well as residential and hotels. So this is an Australian series, and it follows instant hoteliers who have turned their homes into hotels. They are judged by their fellow competitors, and the judges, Juliet Ashworth and Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen. I wouldn't say that the judging from the competitors is fair, because many of them try and play the game of giving lowest scores, so that in order that when they host and they know that their properties, or their hotels rather, are probably the better of the bunch, they give low scores so that when it's their turns to host, that they get higher scores and they have a higher chance of winning the prize. But all in all, it comes down to your personality as a host, and the type of house you have, and the way you create a welcoming environment. They get scored based on night sleep, location and activities, value for money, and the house overall. In each season, the 2 highest ranking teams go out into a grand finale, where they each have an opportunity to transform their homes based on the feedback they receive from the judges and their competitors. The prize in season 1 was a trip to the USA to stay in a Californian instant hotel that is rumored to belong to one of the stars of Hollywood. The prize in the second season is 100,000 Australian dollars. I believe it's Australian dollars. If it's American dollars, I just don't think it's American dollars. I think it's Australian dollars. But anyway, I didn't do my research on that. They just said dollars. But anyway, it's a great show. You will really love it. And if you want to get into the Airbnb market, I suggest you watch the show. Pick up a few tips and tricks about design and how to have a great welcoming space, and knowing more about your location and what you have to offer than just your home. People aren't just coming to put their head down and rest. It's about a full inclusive service about what you're offering. What you're offering has to compete, but it also makes you think, do I have the facilities to open an Airbnb? Am I pulling my leg? Am I punching above my own weight? Watch the show and you'll know if you have what it takes to get into the market. So guys, that's the show, and thank you for watching. I appreciate all your comments, your likes, and your subscriptions to the channel. Please tell your friends, please talk about this on social media, share it, share the episodes, show your mom, show your dad, show your nan, show your grandpa, show your aunties, uncles, cousins, everybody. Let's all get involved. Let's all discuss stuff within urban planning, within our society of today. And yeah, as I said before, I really want to know what you're getting into during lockdown, how you're keeping fit, how you're keeping motivated, how you're keeping your mind gaining knowledge, basically. Yeah, so Really keen to hear from you guys. As said before, this is your show. I want you to be a voice behind it as well. You might not be on the screen, but your voice is definitely powerful. So yeah, can't wait to hear from you. Love you guys. Please like, please subscribe, and please comment down below. Cheers.